What's going on, everybody? This is John J Gaming on the mic here, coming at you with a brand new episode of the Bluffton Tech Dynasty here on EA College Football 25. Now, we have been competitive in the games that we played in this season. However, it hasn't led to great results. We find ourselves at 2-6 and needing to go on a winning streak in order to make it into bowl eligibility here in number 2. And a team across from us is going to make it difficult. The Miami Redhawks are the next team that we face on the road. And this Miami team, while 3-5, doing pretty well in conference play. And we're about the same overall with these guys. We have a better offense than the Miami Redhawks, but their defense is better. So the game between our offense and their defense is definitely going to be the key in this particular matchup. And we're also going to see if we can maybe play a little bit of spoiler for Miami as well. Because you can see in the conference standings right now, this Miami team, they are very much in the hunt to go to the MAC championship game at the very end of the season. So something to definitely monitor as we get ready for this second half of the season, or more specifically, these last month of the season of gameplay. But with that being said, we'll get things started here as we'll go on the road to take on Miami. But I hope you guys are absolutely excited for this episode. If you are, make sure you go ahead and smack that like button. Hit that subscribe button as well if you do have to be brand new to the channel. Let's go ahead and dive right into the action. I'll see you guys on the field in Oxford, Ohio for this key MAC game. Alright boys, so welcome to Fred C. Yeager Stadium as we get things going here against the Miami Redhawks as they will open up with the football. As we did end up deciding to defer this out to the second half, as right away Miami is going to open things up with a little bit of play action there, as it looks like that was Porter Lindstrid that was able to make the tackle in open field, but it was still a pretty good gain though, as they will pick up a gain of 7 yards on the play. Next one up is the Miami is going to run the ball up the left-hand side and does run into a couple of Bluffton Tech defenders, but it will still be enough to pick up the first down anyways. So now we're staring down 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line, looking over the middle, but it's going to be intercepted. It's going to be Harper, one of the linebackers on this team, that's going to be making a play on the ball. Let's go, baby. That's exactly what I'm talking about, man. Love to see our guys come out here and really try to make a play on this football, man, as Stephen Harper, the senior linebacker, steps up and makes a really big play for us. So the first drive of the game for us is going to be in beautiful field position. We start inside the 35-yard line of Miami, but we got to have our offensive line actually protect there, as Miami got home way too quickly there on that play action. So 3rd and 9, not a spot that I want to be in, but a spot that we are going to have to deal with anyways. So here we go on 3rd and 9. We'll drop back to pass, and I'm going to go ahead and throw it over to the left-hand side. CJ Peaks has plenty of space to move, and sure enough, CJ Peaks is going to pick up the first down, is going to be able to move us inside the 10-yard line, as that's a first down for Bluffton Tech. Now, with that being said, we'll quickly run up to the line of scrimmage as we try to create some space down on the inside, looking for somebody to get open. And we do end up finding the tight ends. Scott McClawler. McClawler is going to hang on and make that catch. Does pick up a few yards, but by no means have we found the end zone yet. We will look to go ahead and change that here on this next play here on the 2nd and 5. As we'll try to go ahead and make some something shake here as we try to create some space, like down in the middle of the field. Looks like they are going to be in man. Armstrong not loving what he sees, throws it up to Will Peoples. And honestly, would have been much better off just going ahead and just throwing that pass away. Not sure what he was trying to accomplish there at all. Just a bonehead decision by our junior quarterback. So we will go ahead and throw it out to Will Peoples, who does pick up plenty of yardage back. But with that being said, 4th down coming up. And what are we going to do on this 4th and goal from the 2-yard line? And you know what we're going to roll with? We're going to go with Old Reliable. Got 2 mobile guys in the backfield. Someone's going to have some space open up. We'll see if it's going to be Will Peoples down the sideline. And Will Peoples is going to find the end zone. Touchdown, Bluffton Tech. And the Fighting Muskrats are going to draw first blood here in Oxford, Ohio. And we will see your Muskrats take the lead for the first time today. So Miami comes out onto the field after throwing an interception on their previous drive. See if they can take a little better care of the football this time around, but not by much though, as we force some pressure on this quarterback. And now they're going to be staring down a 3rd and long. Dangerous spot here for the Red Hawks, as last time it was 3rd and long. They end up throwing an interception. Will it be a lot the same? No, it will not, as Malik Moon, the sophomore corner, actually does end up getting burnt in coverage. So now the Miami Redhawks find themselves in Bluffton Tech territory because of that. As now 3rd and 10 coming up, as Miami trying to throw the ball. I know they wanted to go out to the flat, but we were just simply not allowing that to happen right now. We already know what time it is. You ain't getting any of that, as Ali McCrary is going to be able to get the sack on the quarterback. We will force Miami to punt this football away. So really about as good of a drive as we are going to have, at least as good of a start. But let's see if we can continue that as we progress deeper into this first quarter. We do have a 3rd and 4 coming up. And let's see if we can make something shake here. As you know, I like this matchup that we have with our freshman tight end. And sure enough, the freshman tight end is open, able to get to almost the 40-yard line. That freshman tight end, man, we are so excited about him. The fact that he is a 90-speed guy, this as a freshman, as a tight end as well, we have a weapon for years to come. But we just need our offensive line to take better care of us there, though, as we do end up getting hit as we try to throw that pass. Thankfully, it does not end in a sack, but it is going to be 2nd and 10, though, as we try to go ahead and get the freshman running back, Ross John, out into the open field. And sure enough, we do. Ross John able to get down to the sideline. It's a foot race, and Ross John is finally going to be forced out of bounds, but it's going to be yet another red zone opportunity for your Fighting Muskrats after another huge play. So Bluffton Tech is absolutely feeling themselves right now, as we'll go ahead and try to get ourselves going here and try to make it 14-0, as this will likely be one of the last plays of the first quarter that we have. Will Peoples out in open space and nearly picking up the first down there yet again. We might choose to be aggressive here, or we'll go ahead and kick the field goal. We'll figure that out in the next quarter, but either way, we're off to an amazing start right now. So with that being said, I did went ahead and get Tommy White out here onto the field because, listen, our defense is playing really well, but I forgot that our kicker is not that great, though, because we end up missing a chip shot. So gonna have to put that trust into our defense once again. Still only up 7-0, as that is certainly going to be a missed opportunity for us when it's all said and done. However, there is still plenty of game left, so it's certainly, you know, we can't get too deep into our heads right now, as Miami tries to run it on a 3rd and inches, and they will easily pick up the first down there. No problems there. As now 2nd and 7 coming up. Miami choosing to run yet again, and a gashing hole given up by our defense. However, there does seem to be some dirty laundry out onto the field, and it's going to be called against the offense. So Miami is going to have to bring it back here quite a bit, As look at this running back go. Oh my goodness. Jarian Brunson just refused to go down there. That is a wonderful run. I can't even be mad about a rush defense about that. That's just pure grit and effort. And while they don't go to him on the next carry, I mean, this drive is still going on right now because of that particular running back. That being said, though, we do have 3rd and 4 coming up, as they will go ahead and they will pick up the first down. So now 2nd and 7 coming up here as they'll throw over to the left-hand side, and that's going to be deflected away. Almost intercepted. It could have been intercepted if he had a step or two sooner, but instead it's going to be 3rd and 7 coming right up, as Miami will try to pick up the first down through the air, but facing significant pressure as the defensive line for Bluffton Tech is going to be able to get home once again. Cade Bloom is going to be responsible as they are going to go out there and force Miami to kick this field goal. And this is not a short field goal for a kicker. 45 yards. This is not automatic for most college kickers, but for this particular guy, no problems there once again, as the field goal attempt is going to be good. So Miami does get on the board for the very first time today. But let's see if we can come out here and start creating some distance between us and this Redhawks team. We have been playing generally well today, aside from a missed field goal from Tommy White. But let's see if we can change things up here on this 2nd and 15, as we will run the ball with Will Peoples, who gets us to the original line of scrimmage and then some. But 3rd and 7, I'm not going to lie to you, is still not a great spot to be in really at all. So got some work to do on the 3rd and 7. We'll see if we can pick it up as Armstrong drops back. Looking over to the left-hand side, has to dump it off to Will Peoples. But all the credit in the world to Will Peoples. He does enough to move the sticks. It's an automatic first down. So the drive will continue, but we are facing 3rd and 8 as we got some time to throw down to the right-hand side. Oh, how does he come down with that? Scott McLauer, he's a certified bad man, dude. Let's go, baby. And now we have another red zone opportunity. This time, we got to come out here, and we got to come away with some points, man. We cannot leave the red zone without more points. Let's see if we can make this shit happen, man. So let's see what our offensive coordinator does end up wanting to call, as we do have 3rd and short coming up, as we're thinking about just running it up the gut with Will Peoples, but might be considering making a change at the line of scrimmage. No, it's going to be Will Peoples trying to get the handoff, and he can't move it forward. He really cannot move it forward at all. And listen, I really thought about going forward here on 4th down. You know, I feel that the momentum is generally on our side, but I also think that our defense is playing great. And because the defense is playing extremely well, I'm going to go ahead and take the field goal. Tommy White does drill it through this time around. We're going to continue to play good defense. At least that's how I think we should approach it. But let's see if our defense can live up to that decision, because that's going to really determine whether we made a good decision or not, even though we do end up putting a few points onto the board anyways, as now we are looking at a 2nd and 7 coming up, as Miami wants to put together another drive before we get out of the first half. That pass should have been caught, but it wasn't, though. We got a little bit fortunate there, as now it's going to be 3rd and 7. Here we go for Miami. They really need this one bad. Dropping back, looking over to the right-hand side, and we got burnt toast on the perimeter. Malik Moon gives up a touchdown in the final minute of this 2nd quarter. Just a devastating blow to us, as it felt like we've been playing extremely well in this first half, and yet because of a couple of bad plays, maybe a decision here or there, we're going to be tied. We are actually going to be tied going into the halftime locker room, where it's clear we got to be a little bit better at running this football. So let's see if we can learn from our mistakes as we get ready to get started here in the 2nd half. And because we did end up deferring to start this game, we are going to start with the ball in our hands. And I've liked what I've seen from my offense so far today. Armstrong has not made any mistakes, and while he doesn't have any passing touchdowns, we have been able to be efficient with our decisions. So it's been, very promising to see for DJ Armstrong. But then we also notice that they are pressing at the line of scrimmage, and you got to do that at your own risk because we got two really good wide receivers, and Jamian Foreman is certainly one of them. Huge play for Bluffton Tech coming out of the halftime locker room. And just like that, we are going to retake the lead against the Miami Hurricanes. Not the Miami Hurricanes, the Miami Redhawks. I was just thinking of that Miami Hurricanes team from earlier in the season. So 17-10 is now your score, but it might change quickly as this time Xavier Wilson is going to be involved. Touchdown, Bluffton Tech. So the touchdowns come back to back for the Fighting Muskrats like it's a Drake song. And now we have our biggest lead of the day. We're going to be up 24-10 now, man. Let's freaking go, baby. That's what I'm talking about. So that being said, 24-10, now your score as Miami trying to go to work here again as well, but we get caught with the eyes in the backfield, and they're going to make us pay for it. So Miami is going to quickly respond. They get another touchdown up on the scoreboard, and this second half certainly has a different tone, doesn't it? It feels like we are going to be in for a classic, boys. As now we got our next drive here to begin this third quarter of action. And, picking up right where we left off is there's Chris Gentry able to get down the sideline and able to make a huge play. And because of that, Chris Gentry is now encompassed over 1,000 yards on the season in the receiving game, showing that he's not only one of the best receivers from a production standpoint in the MAC, he's also possibly one of the better receivers, but one of the better unknown and underrated commodities in college football from a wide receiver standpoint. So we'll see if we can get Chris Gentry a little bit more love, but instead we'll throw to the right-hand side, trying to get it out to Scooter Page, but Armstrong had that ball float on him a little bit, so because of that, it is going to be an incompletion. So that being said, it is going to be 2nd and 10 coming up. As I like the look that I'm seeing here, I think I'm going to go ahead, run it up the middle with Will Peoples, who gets some space on the halfback draw. And the reason why that play works so well is because, hey, we're able to really threaten them with the passing game. We had big plays in the passing game. Might have to go back to that halfback draw here if they continue to have success against that pass coverage. So with that being said, it does lead to a 1st and goal coming up as we'll run the ball up the middle. And it's our freshman running back, Ross John, who gets his 2nd carry of the game, but his 3rd total touch, and gets us a lot closer to the goal line, where we only have a few yards that we need in order to move the goal line, and we will not need a 3rd. Touchdown, Bluffton Tech. It's another one. Call it DJ Khaled because we got another one on the scoreboard. Bluffton Tech is going to extend the lead on the Miami Redhawks, and the sophomore tailback is going to extend this lead. But not only did we manage to find a way to get another touchdown on the board, our defense is actually showing up, which is a very refreshing thing to see after the last few weeks of action. I could have gone with just the mesh at the bottom, but, we're feeling spicy. We got another big play from Chris Gentry. Why do they keep pressing this man? I have absolutely no idea why they choose to do that, man. I'm going to be honest with you on that. But with that being said, we are threatening once again. But to finish the original thought that I had, defense has not been playing very well the last few weeks. And so to see our defense play significantly better, it's a very welcoming sight for sore eyes, just say the least. But 2nd and short coming up. I love this concept that we're about to run here. And it's ran to complete perfection. We find Chris Gentry, Somebody double this man. Because Chris Gentry in single coverage, he's going to burn you. And he is showing it right there, man. He is showing the country that Chris Gentry is not to be fucked around with. That's another touchdown for the sophomore as we get some more points onto the board. So here we are late in the third quarter of action as Miami is trying to claw back into this game desperately. But it's not looking good, though. It is not looking good at all for this Miami team. As Miami trying to keep themselves into the game, they will throw it short and get around Xavier Wilson, who just was pursuing a little bit too much there. Just trying, gotta stay a little bit more disciplined. Realize the situation. Clock is going to be on your side right now, so you don't have to make the big play necessarily, but we're going to make a solid play here, at least forcing Miami to go ahead, check it down for us, right? So it's going to be 2nd and 5 because of that, as now Miami will see if they run the ball here on 2nd and 5, and they're actually going to pass it instead. Slant pattern does end up being effective, even with Nash Berte coming down and laying out the hit right away. As Henry Hassan of the Miami Redhawks, he does eclipse 2,000 yards passing on the season. It's been a solid year for this Miami quarterback, at least from an individual standpoint. Not so much for the team because they are 3-5. So, you know, you're 3-5 and you're in the MAC. You know, that's different than if you're in the SEC and the Big Ten. But hey, anyways, we're getting into the final quarter. We're looking phenomenal. This is the best I've seen Bluffton Tech play in this entire series. But the million-dollar question is, can we finish it out? So with that being said, we'll go ahead and get this fourth quarter started as Miami is going to go ahead and run the ball. And Miami is going to be able to move the sticks for a first down. As now we got 1st and 10 from the 10-yard line. So basically think of this as a goal line opportunity for Miami. They'll throw over the middle, and he had him open. Henry Hassan 100% had him open, and he knew it too. He's taking the blame for that throw. Should have been a touchdown, and we caught a lucky break there. Gotta be careful because we're not going to catch too many lucky breaks against this quarterback. But with that being said, they will choose to run it on the very next play, and they will pick up a few more yards here. They will make it 3rd and 4 coming right up. Is now 3rd down. Hassan's going to look over to right-hand side, and I truly don't know how that pass got through. I'm going to be honest with you, chat. I don't know how Pugh was able to, 1, maintain the concentration to make this catch, and 2, how do our guys not deflect that in the first place? We had a couple of guys there, but, you know, sometimes, you know, if EA wants a team to score, they're going to have that team score, man. Like, that's just, you know, modern EA sports for you. We do end up going 3 and out on the next drive, so let's see if we can, you know, handle our business against this Miami team on this particular possession, because if they score yet another touchdown, then all of a sudden this game can get really interesting. 2nd and 5 coming up, but it's almost intercepted. Oh, that's the freshman Randall Glenn who got his hands on it. Oh, if he was able to complete that play, he's taking it to the crib and he's going to score. But instead, it's going to be 3rd and 5, where we'll try to send a blitz, get him a little pressure. And while Javon Tracy does end up making the catch for the Redhawks, it's not across the first down marker. You have to come back and make that grab. So 4th and inches coming up as Miami is going to have to go for it here at this point. But nowhere to go for Henry Hassan as the defense is able to rally. Stephen Harper able to complete the play. And now we have a chance to put in a possible dagger. Here we go, Armstrong in the shotgun formation and looking around, seeing who could possibly get open here. We throw over the middle, and that's CJ Peaks, who does end up getting pile drived into the ground. But it is going to be a big play here, though. But we got some work to do for sure, as we got 3rd and 15 coming up. Armstrong looking over the middle, and Will Peoples is going to pick up a decent amount of yards here. 4th and 9 from the 36. And listen, on the road, that's going to be a tough kick for our kicker to make. Looking about 50 to 55 yarder. So since we're in no man's land, we're going to go for it here. You know, just got to risk it for the biscuit. And sure enough, how about CJ Peaks coming down and making that catch? Love to see it. He's been having a big day today. 100 yards receiving thus far, as Ross John is going to get yet another carry up the middle. He picks up yet another first down, as Ross John continues to prove why he's making an impact for our team. You know, definitely don't want to take too many carries away from Will Peoples, but at the same time, there's a reason why we have not been able to ignore getting Ross John off the field, right? Even as a freshman, we could have redshirted him, but I mean, he's just so good. He is just so good, dude. And we're going to pick up a field goal off of this so that we're able to extend the lead up now to a 17-point lead as we get into the final quarter. Oh, do we get a user? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got a user interception, dude. Let's go, baby. And everything that could go right for Bluffton Tech is absolutely going right for this Bluffton Tech squad. We get an interception with Terrell Pace, the senior corner. And thanks to an extremely strong third quarter, we're able to create some distance, and we will put away the Miami Redhawks as we will end up winning our third game of the season. Alright, boys, so a great game, and honestly our best game in the entire series, as not only have we walked into Oxford and beat Miami, we beat Miami convincingly. 44-24 ends up being your final score, and while we wasn't completely perfect, you know, we had some minor miscues, we didn't turn the ball over at all, at least not any major turnovers, and we forced this quarterback to throw 3 interceptions today, and it leads us to a monumental victory over this Miami Redhawks squad. And we talked about perfection. DJ Armstrong was nearly that today. He was 27 for 35, threw for over 400 yards, and threw a couple of touchdown passes as well. He ended up having like 15 yards a completion as well. So we were pushing the ball downfield. This wasn't seemed like we were always trying to dump it down by any means. For the run game, Will Peoples had nearly a full workload, as Will Peoples ended up with 2 touchdowns on the ground. He ended up with 18 carries and 84 yards. Ross John ended up coming through with some good inputs in this as well. He had a few carries in this game. For our receivers, CJ Peaks had a big day today. He led all receivers with 100 yards through the air, but did not catch a touchdown. However, Chris Gentry was able to catch a touchdown. He had 5 catches for 94 yards. And Javion Foreman, our senior wide receiver, caught a 73-yard touchdown as well. So a good all-around performance there for your receiving core. But what I was most impressed with today was the bounce back that we had with our defense. Defensively, we have absolutely struggled through these remaining last couple of games, and I'm glad just to see them play at a much higher level today. Porter Lindstrid had 11 tackles, and then Nash Berthe led the way with 9 as well. So good cornerstones for our defense in the future. We also managed to get a little bit of pressure as well. Alan McCary was able to get a sack alongside Cade Bloom. But the biggest story today was absolutely our defensive, causing some turnovers. We had multiple. Stephen Harper had an interception, and we honestly haven't heard Stephen Harper's name that much, but he had his best game in the season. Xavier Wilson, our top corner, was able to take one to the crib for 27 yards. And then shoot, we're even able to use our interception with Terrell Pace as well. So that's seniors really stepping up on our defense and really going to work in this regard. And while we weren't necessarily able to get any commitments, and we didn't have anyone named Player of the Week by any means, I am proud of the fact that we were not only able to win, but we were able to win convincingly and do it on the road as well. So great game for us here, and now we just got to get ready for what we have on store. Up next in the next episode, we will be taking on the Ball State Cardinals. And the Cardinals are in a similar position as us. They're 3-6, just like how we happen to be 3-6 as of right now. And in terms of going into a bowl game, this is a must-win for both teams, as whoever ends up losing this game is going to be eliminated from bowl contention. So you know that even though this is a pair of 3-6 teams going at it, this is going to be an electric matchup at the Tech Center, and I'm hoping to get you guys there in the next episode. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure you go ahead and do a couple of things for me. Hit that like button, and then also hit that subscribe button as well if you do happen to be brand new to the channel. This is John J Gaming on the mic signing off. Hoping you guys are all out there having a good one. Take care, everybody.